Hello everyone and welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving into some really fascinating source material today that asks a great question. Think you need a massive, sprawling backyard to grow an actual orchard? Most of us definitely picture giant ladders and acres of land, but it turns out growing abundant fruit is completely possible with literally zero acreage. Let's get right into it.
There's this amazing quote from our source material that completely nails the core thesis today. The expert here spent 15 years gardening exclusively on apartment balconies across 3 different cities, and they figured out a brilliant secret. You don't need an orchard, you need a pot and a sunny corner. It's a total game changer of a perspective, right?
So today's explainer is breaking down the balcony orchard, 8 fruit trees for pots and small spaces. We're going to count down from number 8 to a really surprising number 1. And the absolute best part, there is no untested theory here. Every single tree we'll cover is backed by real-world proof. For example, we'll be talking about a gardener named Gloria, who has maintained a wildly prolific balcony garden in San Francisco for over 2 decades.
All right, moving into section 1, Busted, the orchard myth. Real fruit, zero acreage. Let's see how this actually works.
We're starting off with category 2, the easy, unbothered starters. Let's check out trees number 8 and 7.
Coming in hot at number 8 is the kumquat, specifically the Nagami variety. Our source highlights this as the ultimate gateway citrus because, honestly, it's incredibly forgiving. First up, it's extremely cold hardy. It'll just shrug off mild winter dips that would totally freak out other plants. Second, it's self-fertile, meaning you only need one single tree to get fruit, no partner required. And the culinary experience is wild. You just pop the whole thumb-sized fruit right in your mouth. The peel is sweet, the inside is super tart, and it's just this massive explosion of flavor. Plus, it stays polite and completely thrives in just a 10-gallon pot, which you can easily move around with 2 hands. Now, while our kumquat and other citrus trees are famously thirsty, they basically drink like marathon runners in the summer heat, tree number 7, the Arbequina olive, is the exact opposite. This thing is bone-dry, drought-tolerant down to its core. During a brutal summer stretch, it barely needs any water at all. It's also a slow grower, which is absolutely perfect for a container because it won't aggressively outgrow its pot. And as a bonus, it gives you these stunning silvery green leaves that make it feel like you've got a little slice of a Mediterranean courtyard sitting right there on your patio.
Moving right along to fast fruit and fiery blooms featuring trees numbers 6 and 5.
Notice that 3-foot mark. That is the absolute tabletop maximum height of tree number 6, the Nana dwarf pomegranate. This little wonder throws out these bright, fiery orange-red blooms that literally look like little flames, and it just keeps flowering continuously for months. But the most fascinating trait highlighted for balcony gardeners? The dwarf pomegranate actively likes having its roots restricted. It is perfectly content being boxed into a container, handing you months of gorgeous flowers followed by actual, real pomegranates.
Then we have tree number 5, the dwarf everbearing mulberry. Listen, if you plant a standard mulberry tree in the ground, you're going to end up with a 30-foot monster. It's got massive roots and drops these messy purple stains everywhere, basically turning your shoes into an art project. But when you put a dwarf everbearing variety in a pot, it stays as this tidy, manageable 4 to 5 foot bush. You can easily reach all the way around it to pick the ripe fruit, keeping the mess completely contained. Even better, it can actually hand you a crop of berries in its very first year. No waiting around.
Next up, we have a really interesting section, the container rule breakers. Trees number 4, 3, and 2. Let's kick this off with tree number 4, the bonanza peach. To understand why this works on a balcony, we have to understand the term genetic dwarf. This means the tree isn't some massive regular peach tree awkwardly forced onto restrictive roots. Nope, it is naturally, genetically programmed to just be small, topping out at around 4 to 6 feet tall. It bursts with these gorgeous pink spring blooms, and then, amazingly, yields real, full-size, juicy stone fruit right on a tiny patio tree. It's incredible.
The material does introduce a super important concept right here, though, and that's chill hours. This is basically a required stretch of cold winter temperatures that a tree literally has to tally up before it'll wake up and bloom properly in the spring. If you live in a really mild winter climate, peaches can be a bit tricky because they might not get enough cold. Keep this chill hours concept in the back of your mind because it's going to be absolutely critical when we reveal our number 1 tree in just a minute.
Okay, let's look at tree number 3, the fig. Notice how an in-ground fig tree acts a little bit like a dramatic teenager going through a massive growth spurt. It'll spend years just chasing size, throwing out huge leaves and expanding its footprint before it ever bothers giving you fruit. But put it in a pot,
Those restricted roots send a signal to the tree to stop growing outward, and suddenly it redirects all of that brilliant energy straight into producing fruit. The fig genuinely prefers being in a container, and amazingly, you can even start one from a completely bare, dormant stick.
Coming in at number 2 is the undisputed king of container fruits, the Meyer lemon. It blooms multiple times a year, and the blossoms smell intensely fragrant, almost like a high-end perfume. But the real reason it takes the number 2 spot is the undeniable proof it offers from the source material. Remember Gloria? She has kept a Meyer lemon on her San Francisco balcony in a modest pot for 20 years. Every single season, that one tree hooks her up with dozens of lemons. The proof is right there.
And finally, the moment we've been building to. The impossible balcony orchard, tree number 1.
Can you really grow an apple tree on a balcony? I mean, when you close your eyes and picture an apple tree, you'd probably see wide branches stretching 20 feet across, right? That image alone makes most people give up before they even start. But the answer to this question? It is a resounding, enthusiastic yes.
The absolute secret to pulling this off is the columnar apple. Notice how this specific type of apple tree, like the Golden Sentinel variety, doesn't sprawl outward at all. Instead, it grows straight up like a leafy green pole. It takes up a tiny 2-foot footprint, easily sliding into a 15 to 20-gallon pot right in the corner of your patio. There are no wild side branches reaching out to crowd your space. The full-size apples just grow tightly clustered right along that single vertical main stem. It is literally perfect for small spaces.
To make these columnar apples really thrive, the source outlines 2 simple rules for success. Step 1. Handle the pollination. Most apples need a buddy to set fruit, so you can just plant 2 different varieties side by side in one large pot, or buy a multigraft tree where several varieties share a single trunk. Step 2. Ensure winter chill. Remember our chill hours concept from the peach tree? Yep, apples need chill hours too. But if you live in a mild winter climate, you simply beat the system by picking a low-chill variety, like the Anna apple. It's specifically bred to fruit beautifully even without those freezing winters.
All right, let's wrap this up with how to start today, the next steps.
If you want to really master the actual container environment, because, let's be real, the right soil makes matters just as much as picking the right tree, the source material points to an awesome resource. It's a $17 book called The 30-Day Kitchen Scrap Garden Protocol. Chapters 4 and 9 are absolute gold here. They cover exactly how to layer a pot so your tree thrives, and how to play the long game, which is that amazing process of starting completely new fruit trees for free from dormant bare cuttings, just like we talked about with the fig tree.
As we finish up today's explainer, I really want to share this highly practical, empowering piece of advice from the text. Don't try all 8, start with 1. Seriously, don't overwhelm yourself. Pick just one easy starter, maybe a kumquat or a fig. Grab a pot, throw some good soil in it, place it in a sunny corner, and just begin. Because as we've seen today from the research, the whole "you need an orchard" myth is officially busted. You don't need a massive yard. You literally just need a window, a pot, and the knowledge we just went over. So the only question left is, which tree are you trying first? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.